Hello everybody and welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary, where I do the research to try to teach you a little something about what you're drinking. Tonight we are continuing along our line of redemption whiskeys. So I've already covered the rye and the high rye bourbon. Tonight I'm going to cover the bourbon. So let me just kind of put this out there. There's not a lot of information about any one expression here, whereas like a lot of times with some whiskeys, there's a reason, there's a reason for the expression, or there's some story behind it, or even if just the name has a story behind it. In this case, this stuff is all MGP sourced, and so there was more just the desire to make this particular flavor profile than there was any particular reason that it happened. So, call it a utilitarian concept behind the formation of these particular whiskeys, but who cares? Like, it's what's in the bottle that really matters. So as much as I love diving into the lore and tales of whiskey and all this stuff, if there doesn't happen to be one, it doesn't mean the juice inside it is any less awesome. It just means it's maybe not as interesting as a video, although I hope you disagree. So let's talk about the Redemption Bourbon. So once again, these guys have the most awesome concept on their bottles, and I'm sure that they're not the only ones to do it, but they're one of the first I've seen where they actually put the mash bill right on the label. And God, do I wish everybody did this. It would be so much nicer. But anyway, the mash bill for the bourbon is 75% corn, 21% rye, so still a pretty high rye count, and 4% malted barley. So let's go ahead and give this a nose and a taste. So the nose on here is not bad. It's pretty impressive, actually. I will say that my original time that I took notes on this, I didn't get a couple of the things that I'm just getting now. Very interesting. So anyway, I'm getting caramel out of here and oak, very common bourbon things. Orange zest, which doesn't show up in every bourbon, but it's also, once again, not unique. But the mixture of the orange zest with chocolate, which you're also getting out of the nose here, is a nice thing. I wouldn't say it's like one of those, what are they called, wax oranges or chocolate oranges or whatever, the ones that you slam and then they break apart. I wouldn't say it's like that. It's really just like a combination. It's like if you took a chocolate bar and zested an orange on top of it. They're separate smells, but you can tell that they work together. Anyway, so let's go ahead and give this a taste. Cheers. All right. So the first thing that is going to hit your palate on this is black licorice. Not overwhelmingly so, or like as in it's not the only thing that you'll taste. It's not to a sickening degree or anything like that. Like personally, I don't like black licorice very much. And if this tasted just like black licorice, I'd be done with it. But it's there and it tastes good because it works with the other flavors. You get black licorice a lot in ryes. They just kind of tend to bring that out. So you've got black licorice, you've got caramel, you've got oak. You get a little bit of the rye. I mean, at, what is it, 21%? At 21%, you would expect a little bit more rye in the flavor, but it's not really there. I mean, it really just manifests as that black licorice. Then the orange comes across, so that's pretty nice. So let's see, black licorice, oak, caramel, orange, and rye spice. So if I had to, just since I've finished all three of these, and I don't have any of the more aged versions, the 10 years and the 9 year, I'm gonna put these in an order for you guys, because now at this point you've seen all three of these videos. So I'm gonna put the bourbon at number 2, the rye is gonna be at number 1, and the high rye is actually gonna be kind of a distant third. These two are pretty good. The rye, I believe, is about $26. The bourbon, I think, is nearing $30, but it's probably still under 30. But if you were gonna buy anything from this, buy the rye like almost twice before you try buying the bourbon. I think that the rye is a fantastic, like kind of a standout in this group, especially for the price. But as for the bourbon, let's give it a try. It's good enough to try, and maybe even good enough to buy. So, but I would I'm giving it a try because I don't think it's worth like passing on completely. What is it? Ignore it. I'm not going to give it an ignore it, and it's definitely not a stock it. So that does it for this episode of the Whiskey Dictionary. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Cheers.